Andrew Neil has warned China's economy is expanding despite the coronavirus pandemic by referring to the latest economic figures. On Twitter, Mr. Neil wrote, "Thanks to the China virus, Western economies are still stagnating. But China is soaring ahead. Grew 2.3% in 2020 at an accelerating pace, 4.9% Q3. And 6.5% year-on-year in Q4. China is the only expanding economy in the world, with all others suffering stagnation because of the pandemic." China's GDP grew by 2.3% after Chinese companies capitalized on the standstill affecting the rest of the world. In comparison, the U.S. economy retracted by 3.7%, whilst the Eurozone shrank by 7.5%. In the same period, the UK's economy was reduced by 11.2%. The economic growth of China accelerated as the year progressed. In the last 3 months of 2020, the nation's economy grew by 6.5%. China's leaders brought the epidemic to a virtual halt by imposing draconian lockdown measures. However, they worked in stopping the virus from taking hold. Although, the question now is how the country will open up to the rest of the world, without vaccinating all 1.3 billion of its people. Beijing has exploited the situation to raise the profile of leader Xi Jinping. The Politburo praised President Xi for his strong leadership and scientific decision-making. They said the success was due to having Comrade Xi Jinping at the core. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo last week revealed information to suggest the virus leaked from a Chinese biosecurity laboratory. Beijing hit back by calling Mr. Pompeo a praying mantis trying to stop the rolling wheels of history. It comes as an independent panel said on Monday that Chinese officials could have applied public health measures more forcefully in January to curb the initial COVID-19 outbreak, and criticized the World Health Organization, WHO, for not declaring an international emergency until January 30. The experts reviewing the global handling of the pandemic, led by former New Zealand Prime Minister Helen Clark and former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, called for reforms to the Geneva-based United Nations agency. Their interim report was published hours after the WHO's top emergency expert, Mike Ryan, said that global deaths from COVID-19 were expected to top 100,000 per week very soon. What is clear to the panel is that public health measures could have been applied more forcefully by local and national health authorities in China in January, the report said, referring to the initial outbreak of the new disease in the central city of Wuhan, in Hubei province. As evidence emerged of human-to-human transmission, in far too many countries, this signal was ignored, it added.